So the question is, taxing the rich, is it a good idea or a bad idea? I want to go through a few examples with you guys and hopefully enlighten some of you about what this actually means when you tax the rich. So my first question to you is why? Why would you want to tax the rich more money? Is that fair? You think it's fair that you tax a guy more money just because he's wealthier than you? See, I don't know, right? So just because they make more money than you doesn't mean they should pay more, do they? I mean, don't you just pay the same dollar per dollar? Why wouldn't you? If I make $100, I pay X amount of taxes on that, and the rich man makes $100, he's going to pay X amount of taxes on that. What's wrong with that? Okay, that's one way to look at this thing. Rich people create jobs. Most people don't realize that. So where do you think the job that you're working at today, where do you think that came from? It came from somebody who started somewhere. They started something small, created it big enough to afford to put on employees. So they gave you a job, okay? They took all the risk. They're the ones that built that business, and they built it from scratch. Now they give you a job at their company, so they're paying you a salary, okay? But who created that? Who created that job? The rich guy created the job, right? But he wasn't rich when he started most of the time. Most of these guys, when you listen to them talk about their riches, it's not money that was handed to them. They came from nothing and they built something with it, okay? Shouldn't it be equal? I've always been under the impression of, I think it should be equal, like dollar per dollar. If I make $1 and I'm charged 5.5% tax on that dollar, then the rich guy should also pay 5.5% on that same dollar, right? So if I make $1, 5.5. He makes $1, 5.5. That's the way I look at it. In my opinion, from listening to all these people complain about tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, I think these people are jealous. They are jealous of the money that these people have. But my problem with that is this. You're jealous over the money they have. You're not willing to go out, take the sacrifices that they made. They somehow had to work a job in the beginning. They had to save some money. Then they invested money. And then they spent their life working super hard, countless hours to build some kind of an empire. And because they built that empire, a lot of you feel that they should get taxed more, that whole equality bullshit deal where, hey, they make more than me, so they should give me some of that money. Well, that's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. But yet, there's a lot of people out there that believe that. And these are mainly people that are on the welfare system, by the way, that make a living out of that. But not here to judge, just here to give an opinion or two. And it goes both ways. So just let me get through it. All right. In my opinion, I think rich people have sacrificed so much to build things. And I know this because I've built many businesses over the years. And my wife and I started with absolutely nothing. And now I consider us relatively wealthy people, but it's because of all of the hard work that we put in. When our employees go home at night, they don't think about, hey, I got to make payroll for, 50 different employees. They don't have that thought in their mind ever. It never crosses their mind. The only thing they think about is that cold beer they're going to get when they go home, or that hot meal, or maybe they get lucky tonight, have sex with their wife, or whatever. That's what's on their mind, or maybe their favorite TV show is on. When people like me, when we go home at night, first off, we're usually out here before they get here in the morning. We're out here after they leave at night. Then all night long, my mind is constantly trying to educate myself on different things that I don't know, better business moves, so on and so forth. Heck, I wake up half the nights dreaming about things, and I'll have a good idea in my sleep, believe it or not, and I go downstairs and I write it all down, and, well, it's fresh in my mind. So anyway, they don't make the same sacrifices that wealthy people do. They just don't. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Maybe they're not educated. Maybe they don't understand how business works. Maybe they never came from a family that gave them an upbringing of financial education. Or it could be the fact that they're just plain lazy and they're too lazy to go out and do it on their own. That's also another possibility, right? So anyway, it feels more like an equality thing when people complain. Like they want this equality. They want this guy that has all that money to give this person a bunch of their money. That's the Joe Biden method, right? Take from the rich, give to the poor. Steal from the rich, give to the poor. To make everybody equal. Why should it be equal? This is my argument. Why should it be equal when those are the guys that did all the sacrificing? You went home, drank your beer, ate your pizza, and fucked your wife while they worked their asses off to try and make their business better. They're worried about payroll. They're paying their taxes. They're paying the insurances, the workman's comp, the Social Security, all the matching contributions. You know, if they pay 401ks, insurances, you name it. They got a million expenses. They have to worry about paying all of those things. Because if they don't, they get into trouble, right? So, here's what happens when you overtax the wealthy. Whenever you start overtaxing these guys, they will stop producing jobs. And I have been through this, had an argument, believe it or not, with my father about this because he felt that the rich should pay more. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. I guess I might as well just get into it now. So I remember when Joe Biden said, if you make over $400,000 a year, we're going to tax you, but we're not going to tax anybody else. Well, that was such a crock of shit because every time, number one, every time you went to the grocery store, you paid more money. When you went to the gas pump, you paid more money. Everybody paid more in taxes. But he didn't sell it that way. He just said, if you make over $400,000, which was a complete crock of shit. But here's the argument I had with my father, because he believed that rich people should pay more taxes. I said, Dad, if I can't make more than $400,000 a year, and if I do, they're going to take 30 or 40% of that money. Okay. Why would I get up early every day, go to bed late every night, work hard all day long, bust my ass to grow this business, just so that I could take whatever profit I made and give it to someone? Why would I do that? What is my incentive for that? I have no incentive for that. And rich people think the same way. They think about this like, why would I go out? So every year, let's say my example in the mosquito police business, so every year we would go out and add a couple different trucks. And then it was 3 trucks, and now it's 4 trucks a year. Okay, so now we have a total of 15 trucks in our fleet, and that means I need 15 drivers, right? So if I need 15 drivers for those trucks, that's 15 different people that I am providing a salary for so they can make a good living and they can contribute to the economy and take care of their families. Now, you tax the shit out of me, I'm not going to work hard to keep adding all those vehicles. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to keep it below $400,000 in income. So what you really did, you put the brakes on me, but guess what you really did? That's 4 more people I'm not putting on the books next year. That's 4 jobs you cost the economy because you taxed me. You want to tax me like that, I'm going to stay below that level. So that's why you can't do that to rich people. You can't do that because, not that I'm rich, but if you do that to people, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to press the bar. They're not going to keep adding jobs and building their companies if they just have to give their money away to people. I hope you guys can understand that because that's an important fact I want you to get. So now, that's 4 people I could have employed, 4 people that would have been spending money at the grocery stores, the gas stations, the restaurants, you name it. Doesn't happen. They're all unemployed now. So what did you actually gain by trying to crush me? All you did was hurt your society and your economy. That's all you did there. So that's my take on that. And that's the way I feel about it. Anyway, losing jobs hurts everybody. And so I hope that I've driven that point home to you. My opinion, every person should pay equally. If I make $50,000 a year and my tax rate, let's just say, is 10%. This guy makes $10 million a year. He should be paying the same, 10% on what you make. That's how I believe that this thing should be handled. It should be dollar for dollar. Now they claim, yeah, well, the rich people don't pay taxes. What a lot of the rich people do is they will take their money, let's say they have a profit of $1 million. Rather than pay a third of that to the government, $300,000, instead of that, or $333,000, instead of doing that, they're going to turn around, they're going to put more vehicles on the road, which means they're going to add more jobs to society, to the economy. Okay, that's what they're going to do. But if you take that from them, they're not going to do that. So let me use another example, and this is my final example. You have two brothers. Do you think this brother makes $50,000 a year, and this brother makes $100,000 a year? Okay, now this brother, maybe he went to school, went to college, whatever, got a better paying job. Do you think that he should pay more than his, let's say this guy is paying 10% in taxes, your one brother who makes less, and this guy, do you think he should pay more than 10% in taxes? That's the real question for you, because the answer is of course not. Why would you? This guy worked harder than this guy, or smarter or something, he got a better paying job. That doesn't mean he should pay 20% in taxes. Doesn't mean that at all. You want to bring him down to this level, or would you rather get this brother to get up to this level? I would rather see this. Food for thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Thanks for watching.